Just imagine it's Sunday night and you're ready to sit down and make cards, and you realize you're out of tape. Has that happened to you? That's the perfect time to make a few single-layer cards that are quick and easy and still quite beautiful. Today on Stamp TV, I'm going to show you a quick and easy project featuring the Sun-Kissed Autumn Stamp TV kit and a Nestabilities die that will give a layered feel to your single-layer card project. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to do this project. First, you're going to need a card base, and I'm using some of the Gina Designs Pure Luxury Ivory 120-pound card stock, and that makes a nice sturdy layer for your single layer card. Then I have another piece of the cardstock here, the ivory cardstock, and this is cut to the same exact size as my card. So that is going to help me create a mask that fits perfectly over my card, or a stencil. Next, you're going to need a die, and I've chosen one of the large classic ovals dies by Spellbinders. Now you can also use your silhouette and use an oval cut file, or you can use a punch, but I'm going to use this particular die for this project. Then you're going to need some stamps, and I have 3 different stamps here from the Sun-Kissed Autumn Stamp TV kit. You're going to need a few ink pads, and I've chosen a few colors by Memento. I have Rich Cocoa, Espresso Truffle, Peanut Brittle, and Desert Sand. And I'm also bringing in a marker, Bamboo Leaves by Memento, and a sponge dauber. So let's begin by making the stencil for this single layer card. I'm going to grab my Cuttlebug here, and I'm going to use an A plate and a B plate. Then I have a panel here that is cut. It's a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, and that's what size my card is. My card is an A2 card, so that would measure 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So I'm going to lay that down here onto my Cuttlebug plate, and then I'm going to place the oval exactly where I would like to see the image on my card front. So I'm going to move it down just a little bit because I'm going to accent the top there with some ribbon. So that's where I'd like to make my cut, right there. And I'm going to cut that oval out. Let me just scooch it over a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then using the C plate, I'm going to cut the oval out. Now I've created 2 things here. This oval I can use for another card project, so I'll put that away for later. And then I've created a mask, or a stencil. So this is going to be what the piece that's going to help me create my layered look on my card. And what's nice about this is once you've made one of these, you can use it over and over again. So now my next step is to create my faux layer here. I'm going to get my card front, and I'm going to place this little mask right on top. Then I'm going to use some of the Desert Sand ink, and I'm going to ink up this sponge dauber with that Desert Sand. Now, lining this up, I'm going to hold it down so it doesn't move, and I'm going to begin to accent around the inside. And then ink it up again and accent some more. Now you can use any color you want. I'm just using this because I'm going to stamp an image on top, and I don't want this color in the background to be too dark. But you can use a green, or you can use a yellow, or a light pink, or a light blue, depending on your color combination that you're looking to create. Okay, so now I've created an oval. Now you can fill that in a little bit more. As long as you don't go close to the edge, you can add a little bit more color in there and fill it in like that. So now my next step is to create my focal image. So I'm going to open up the card so it lays a little bit flatter. And I'm going to use the tree image from the Sun-Kissed Autumn stamp set. Use a little rich cocoa on there. And I'm going to stamp that right in my oval. There we go. Now I'm going to use some of the leaves, and I'm going to ink those up using the new peanut brittle ink. I'm going to add some of that first, and then I'm going to do a little bit of thumping with some bamboo leaves, so it appears as though my leaves are changing color from green to that golden, autumny color that we see everywhere right now. And you can see I'm just tapping this marker all over these leaves. Now some of that ink may have dried already, so I'm going to huff or breathe moist air over the surface of this to reactivate some of that ink that may have dried. So I'll do that. And now I'm going to line it up and stamp. There we go. There are my autumn leaves. Now using some of the espresso truffle, I'm going to add a greeting to the bottom of my card here. I like this little greeting. I think this actually would make a nice little framed piece to hang up. I'm going to add that right to the bottom in the center. There you go, and there's my greeting. When you climb a tree, you're a little bit closer to heaven. For all the nature lovers out there. Okay, so now I have this nice little card, and then I'm going to tie a little piece of ribbon around the top. And this ribbon coordinates with the bamboo leaves nicely, so I chose this color. I got that nice and tight. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut those edges using my Tim Holtz scissors. One there. And we'll do one the opposite. Let's see how that. On the opposite direction up here. And I still have a nice piece of ribbon left for another project. And there is my finished little card project. Try making your stencil with squares, rectangles, and circles. And you can make it fancier by making your stencil out of one of the ornate label style dies or electronic cut files. Making cards with a limited supply list is fun and easy, and you can get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time.